our friend, the MP for La Horquetta Talparo, Mr. Minister Jairam Seemungal, who is Deputy Speaker. Before he became an MP, he was the president of the PTA at Tonapuna Hindu School. He was the secretary of our temple in Mausika Temple. So he had good training,
Right.
because these are training grounds for interacting with people.
Right, and look, we should also recognize the youth officer of the constituency of La Horquetta Talparo, Mr. Ryan Rampasad,
Ryan,
who also has beginnings at the Mahasaba.
yeah, he has his beginnings at the Mahasabha. He's a teacher with the Mahasabha right now. He has been the right-hand activist for Jairam in his constituency. Now, you, Jairam, you are the MP for a constituency. People don't know how your constituency runs. It's one of the most difficult and abandoned constituencies in Trinidad. It was controlled by the PNM. The constituency, La Horquetta, it starts on the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway at La Horquetta, and it runs south, and it ends up someplace in Todd Road. You're passing through all these little villages. Could you give us an idea? Because many of our people don't know where these villages are. Could you give us an idea? And they are good listeners of Radio Jaagriti.
Yes, and you can call us in studio. The number is 663-1027.
Could you tell us the villages that you cover as you go down south?
Thank you. Let me say, first of all, I'm very pleased to you, Mr. Satnal Maharaj, and our host, Crystal, for having us here this afternoon. We're ready to share some light on what is happening in this constituency. As you said, so that this constituency really starts in La Horquetta, all the way down to Wallafield, Kumoto, San Rafael, Las Lomas, Tamana, Forest Tamana. We go up to Mondo Nuevo, Mamural, Talparo, Towards Road. So it's a very large constituency. Geographically, it's 25,000 voters. So roughly about 30 to 40,000 persons are living in that constituency, including squatters as well. So we have a very large constituency, not one of the easiest to manage. But I think we have been doing a pretty good job so far in trying to manage this constituency.
Now, you talk about Tamana. What part of Tamana? Because the roads in Tamana are terrible.
Right.
What are you doing about that?
Well, the only one piece of the road in Tamana falls in my constituency. The road from Talparo to Tamana, to Forest Tamana, is a very, very good road. It can take literally 3 minutes to reach up Tamana. And the other piece we are working on to have that road paved as well, which is just about 300 meters of road in my constituency, not the other part where we had all these protests for not too long ago.
Yes. No, let us take, you are in Brazil. Brazil is yours. And this is not Brazil in South America, This is Brazil in Trinidad, yeah.
Being from South Trinidad and deep South Trinidad at that, the first time I heard about Brazil, I thought it was a reference to the South American country. But only then I was made aware that such a place exists in Trinidad.
No, the road starts from the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway, and you go down into Brazil, and from Brazil you go down to all these little villages there.
Talparo and Mondo Nuevo.
Mondo Nuevo, Talparo.
Actually, the part of Talparo is the center of Trinidad and Tobago. The center point of this country is situated in the Towards Road area. And that's why our constituency is literally the central constituency of this land. So any direction you want to go into, you can use our constituency.
Now, what about that road? I have traveled that road a number of times, and it was really not very developed. That was good for donkey cart. Really, the road was developed for donkey cart because it's an agricultural area, and it takes you straight down into Todd Road there. Any work has been done on that road, and water and lights and electricity, because we have a lot of listeners on our radio station from that area.
Now, let me just answer by telling you some of the things that we have been that we have been working on in this constituency. As you said, it's a very new one to the partnership. It has always been under the opposition or PNM control. And it's the very first time that the government, this government, any other government except PNM, is in the control of that constituency. Now, what we have been doing is that I recall very distinctly that during the election campaign itself, when I walked around throughout the constituency, one of the biggest concerns to all residents of the constituency was water. Would you believe that places like Talparo and Mondo Nuevo and some areas in Todd's Road and Tamana Road never had pipe-borne water?
Pipe-borne water.
And during the first 3 months of coming to the office, I got WASA involved. And right now they have completed commissioning of the Talparo Water Works, which provides roughly 1 million gallons of water per day. And with that, we're able to service Todd's Road, Talparo, Mondo Nuevo, Tamana Road, and send some of the water down to Brazil. So the constituents are in a more comfortable position that they were in prior to the election, and that they have some water at least 3 to 4 days a week until we can find a better fix the leaks, completely fixing of the leaks and changing up some of the lines in them. I'll give you another example. Sonilal Road. Sonilal Road is an area where people are residing there more than 40 years old, 40 years now. And they never saw a pipeline inside there. Matter of fact, for a truck to come in inside there, it costs them roughly between $600 to $700 to $800 for a truckload of water. And in talking to Wasan and the CEO and others, I got lines to come into Sonilal Road. So within the next few weeks, right now they are connecting lines to people's houses. And within the next few weeks, we'll be commissioning that line so that people will, for the very, very first time in their life, will be receiving pipe-borne water. Right. And what we are also doing, we have also started repairing most of the secondary roads in the constituency, despite the fact that the main road may be still, difficulty in passing in some of the areas. But it's not as bad as some of the secondary roads. In Las Lomas, for instance, Las Lomas, we have roads in the back there which never receive repairs for more than 30 to 40 years. And those are the areas that I've decided to concentrate on first, rather than to pave over the main road and when we have people, thousands of people suffering in the secondary road. I started planning the program in such a way that we will be fixing and repairing the roads that affects most of the people who have never seen it before. And in the Las Lomas area, in the Brazil, in the Talparo area, those are what we are doing, programming, these roads in them. So within the next couple of years, we'll be having repairs done to most of the secondary roads, and then we'll come back down to concentrate on the major roads, which is like the Las Lomas, number 1, the Talparo Mondo Nuevo Road, the Todd's Road. Todd's Road, we cannot fix the Todd's Road yet because we haven't completed the road. So despite the fact the roads may be bad in some areas, we have started repairing a lot of the landslides. Some major landslides in that road have been repaired recently, and we are continuing the exercise to fix all these major landslides along the Todd's Road. And when we completed about 3 kilometers of water line to run again to reach up to La Gloria Road, when we complete that exercise, then we are going to pave that road, so it'll make it a lot more easier for the residents of that area. And we have also introduced a bus network system throughout the entire constituency.
That is where Devan came in.
That is where Devan came in.
That is, you are now running buses all through the constituency there. Yeah. I remember an article, this is about 9 months ago, that said from Chaguanas to Talparo, it costs you $40 by taxi.
To Tamana.
$40 by taxi.
And that's very correct.
And now by bus it costs you $5.
Yes.
$4 to $5.
Well, we have a call on the line, so maybe we could go to the phone lines and see. Oh, we lost that one.
All right. Now, for areas like you are describing there, they had belonged to the Dark Ages. If you want to know what it is not to have pipe-borne water, and you went in there, in front of every house, there was a barrel painted in black, where the water trucks, when they come once a week, they fill your barrel for you. So the water was exposed. The water was contagious, diseases in the water. and was exposed. So that bringing pipe-borne water to these areas, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful thing coming from a minister who has just won. In 1 year time, you're able, because you need roads, you need water, you need electricity, you need phone, you need schools. I don't know how far you are from your ideal in providing these services.
We have also started on repairing and upgrading most of the schools within the entire constituency. Become very close to schools. My little, brought up see with the Mahasabha in particular, made me very close to schools, because I was PTA president in this school here, the Tunapuna Hindu school, for 7 years. And in that, I got integral knowledge as to how schools should be and the ideal of what the schools should be. So I've been visiting most of these primary schools within the constituency. And I have one high school, which is the Brazil High School, and incidentally, this year they came first in the Young Leaders competition in that school.
That's the RBTT Young Leaders debate.
That is very correct. With my intervention and introduction of some technology that they could have used, they came first. As a matter of fact, their score was way beyond any other school. And that's the same school that the then opposition labeled the UN Empowered School, the Brazil High School. And they are building the government, then the UNC government, then is building school in the bush, in the forest, and for food. But those are the children who are now excelling in their academics. And that is why I became so interested.
That's like the Bish abandoned you.
Very, very correct. And they abandoned the school and decided not to build. And those same children have to travel 3 and 4 hours by bus and taxi to get to school.
Now you have a bus service that they could take the bus and get to the school.
That is very correct. They can take the bus, come to the school, they can wait for the bus in the evening. And what I'm also looking at is helping the schools to make them a bit more comfortable. So I've been working with the principals of the school, trying to upgrade them, working with the sports, the education company, so that they can make sure that these schools, even though they are in a remote area, they are still children, they are people. They are people who deserve the spoils of the land. And this is why I'm so close to the entire constituency to ensure that this constituency is never left behind.
Right. And we realize you've taken it also to the avenue of sport, and that's one of the main reasons you've come here this evening. Tell us about this
That's
cricket.
right. That's right, Crystal. You see, one of the things that I campaigned on in the general election was to help the youths to find avenues and to create avenues whereby they can express themselves. They can come out, they can perform, they can show us what they are made of. Apart from the employments and the other infrastructure that you can put, if you put activities and you get involved in activities that create a positive environment, a lot of the young ones will be able to come out and keep themselves away from even the state of emergency influence that they are having now. So what I have done is I've started for the very first time, and probably this is the first time in this entire country that this is happening, a cricket league which comprises of constituents only. So to qualify to play in the cricket league, you must be a constituent of La Horquetta Talparo. And with that now, we got 24 teams to take part in it. And each team, Ryan Rampasado was the main manager of that, and to ensure that it went well. And each team comprised of 2 ladies. So apart from the men, we brought out the ladies. And with the ladies, we brought out the children and the husbands and all those who are home, the aunties and the nenes, so they can come out and recreate together in a community, so that when they go back home and the young ones can have some bragging rights that I am the champion. And actually this Saturday, we are having the finals. And this will be starting at 2 o'clock. So from 2 o'clock, we'll be having an all-stars team comprising of the best player from each of the remaining 22 teams that didn't qualify for the finals. We'll be playing against each other. At 4 o'clock, we'll be launching a football league for the constituency, a football league comprising of teams from the constituency only. And we expect to have at least 30 to 40 teams taking part.
Will there be duplicate players, like persons playing football and cricket, or is it?
Well, all the persons who are the clubs and the teams that came together for the cricket, they have been calling for it because they are good football players as well.
Right.
So they will be taking part in the exercise. But so far we have given out we have gotten interest from about 70 persons who are showing interest that they want to take part in it.
If you have how many cricket teams is that you have?
24.
24. And there are almost 11 players. There are 11 players on a team. So you're talking about well over 260 persons there participating, which is remarkable for one constituency. Because
That's correct. And we were able to bring out some 3,000 spectators so
Right.
far over the past 9 weeks.
that's just players. So that in itself is a landmark to achieve, to mobilize these people consistently to come out and play and so on.
And one thing I'll tell you though is an environment where they can come out. We sell no alcohol, don't encourage it, no drugs. We don't encourage it on the ground. And it's an environment where you don't fighting and people pulling with each other and all this kind of thing. It's a very calm and casual place that you can come and enjoy yourself in the evening. And this started with the light up of one of the first recreation ground in the entire constituency. That's to show the neglect that this constituency had by the PNM government. We have 9 grounds, and none of which they saw fit to put lights because they found that this is theirs and they'll be theirs forever. But the people have stood up and they said no. It's about time that we put faith in someone else who can look after our interests. So we have the lighting up of the Brazil Recreation Ground, and on a regular basis we have 200-300 people coming out to play and to take part in activities on that ground.
But do they use it at nights? Because I see a lot of the other lit up recreation grounds. You have a lot of ladies who go and do exercises, and they walk around and jog around and so on. Do you have that taking place right now? Or?
Well, we have people using the ground to walk around, but more so, what I did also, I started some sporting clubs in the area. We have the Blast, which is the Brazil Talparo Las Somas Sporting Academy.
Yeah.
And they in themselves utilize the ground at least 3 to 4 days a week, with about 200-300 children will be taking part.
Yeah.
We started a very similar exercise in Horquetta and in Las Lomas. Just recently we had the young footballers between the age of 7 and 13. We had about 40 of them. We had a graduation where we trained them. So all these grounds, I am ensuring before the lights go into the ground, we start up avenues whereby people would come out and use the ground. And in this ground, we also put in a switch so that if persons want to use the ground, they will come and they turn on the light. If there are no activities on the night, what's the point of wasting the current? So I'm creating, first of all, the environment where I can see people would use the facilities, and then we upgrade as it needs be.
All right.
When people are coming to watch cricket on the Brazil Recreation Ground or any activity whatsoever, the composition of the supporters that we have is a very, very mixed one. Because one of the things I have done is ensure that people understand that my leadership is not one of race. It's about delivering to the people what they deserve and what they desire. So anyone and everyone can come to my office. And incidentally, if I may advertise my office, we have
Sure.
three offices, one in Brazil, one in Las Lomas, and one in Talparo.
When is your office day?
And my office
when
in-
are your office days?
My office in the Brazil office, as the main office, is the 2nd and 3rd Tuesday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
And in Las Lomas, it's the last Tuesday of every month. And Talparo, the 1st Tuesday of every month. It starts at 9, and we go until about 4 or 5 when we see the last person.
Right.
So everyone can come up to that office and see me at any point in time. And the visitors in my office are never any one race. It's everybody and anybody who would desire to come.
Oh, let's move away for just a bit.
Sure.
Tell us about your recent appointment as Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. That must be a
What
thrill
is the
because
portfolio there? Because
I have seen you having to get up and try to bring this house to order, and to me, I am laughing and rolling off my chair sometimes with the kind of nonsense that goes back and forth. And I mean, both parties are guilty of this stupidness,
Well, first of all, I want to again thank the Honourable Prime Minister for having the confidence in me to place me in a position to preside over the House. As lawyers, one of the aspirations that we have as lawyers is to become a judge. And I think that's the closest I will be
Jairam
to
is
become
also
a judge.
Yes, he's also an attorney.
Jairam is an attorney at law. His wife is an attorney at law. She's based in Arima.
That's correct. And it's a very good experience. It's a very trying one. And to preside over the honourable members of Parliament and to listen and engage them in their debate and to bring the House down order, it's a trying one. Actually, I think the most difficult thing is to sit on that chair and look on and listen to debates for several hours.
Yes.
Because as a member of the chair, you can't really get up and go outside or stretch your legs.
Oh, unlike the
you literally have
unlike
to
the
sit
other
there.
members, you can't nod off.
Well, but I must say, it's a very, very good experience. It's a learning experience, and I feel very humbled by it because it's presided over the highest court in the land. And I think the parliament itself this year, I've noticed that the debate itself have been to a better standard at what it used to be in the past. I must compliment Mr. Waymark as well, the Speaker of the House, for taking some of the stands that he have taken in the past and trying to lift the debate. That's the point we are trying to make. It's to lift the standard of the debate in the House. I think the government members are doing a very, very good job at it. But it's still some work need to be done by members.
Sometimes I look at the channel. I think it's channel 11.
11, yes.
Because,
Channel 11.
I see some beautiful presentations because people take time off to do their studies and to do their work and to do the presentation. Whereas you could tell when a member of parliament has researched, has done the work, and when a member of parliament is only mouthing nonsense, pure, naked, unadulterated politics. It has nothing to do with educating. It has nothing to do with putting new light on.
Unfortunately, as the speaker or the person in the chair, you can't do anything much about the quality of the debate. But what you can ensure is that they stick to the standing orders and they ensure that they also stick to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
And try as much as possible for persons to stay within the topic at hand so that the debate itself can in fact contribute. Remember these debates?
That's standing order 35.
That's correct. And they want to ensure that these debates can be used by the courts and used by people way long after when the bill is passed and see what they were trying to, what is the mischief of the bill, what is the mischief of the law that they were trying to fix at that point in time. And that is why we are really trying to have some good quality debates so that persons 20, 30, 40 years down after our time has gone, they can look back and learn from it.
Kind of nonsense.
And you're not hearing anything about the South vendor in Scarborough.
Exactly, where they cram and
you know
dumpling.
that kind of thing. You know that only the doubles vendor were free to sell.
Yeah, but the big is not under curfew.
Yeah, in Scarborough, people were free to sell also. So that, why the racial spin? Wait, listen, I keep on pointing out. In America, for 3 years, Obama is free to do his thing. This is the 4th year now, and the politics now begin. In Trinidad, it's just the reverse. As soon as you get in power, they want to unseat you one time. They don't want to wait 4 years. They don't want to wait 5 years. They don't want to give you the mandated time that you have. They figure it is time that they get back the treasury. I don't want to bring the politics into it for you. But this is what they cannot do without the treasury.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you see, the thing is, everybody sits and wait and hope that everything can be done at one point in time. And unfortunately, this government really inherited a bad state of this economy. And we are trying to fix as much as we can and fix as much as we can as we go along. But I think we have done a very, very good job at it, if I am to pat myself on the back as well.
Yeah.
But I think this government has done remarkable for the short, for the low funds that we had in the treasury. We have done an excellent job by bringing this economy stable. Remember, they have places in Asia who are literally going bankrupt right now.
Yeah.
And America may soon go into another recession. We don't know.
Greece is almost in bankruptcy.
Greece is in
And
bankrupt
we
right
have
now.
had the lowest inflation rate
That's
for
correct.
the
So
longest while.
we have done really what the previous regime could not foresee themselves doing, and we have brought this economy to a stable one in which we can enjoy, and all of us can enjoy. So and whatever, just to touch one without being too just to touch on that racial issue, is I have spoken to some very brilliant young persons, and some of them from African background as well, and they have said to me, that type of politics which our fathers and our grandfathers and they practice is not our thing, you know. Their thing is that if you perform, they will support you. If you don't perform, well, let's try somebody else. And the racial politics and the racial politics is not on the youths and the younger generation. Very few, very, very few will indulge in racial politics.
Yeah, it's about representation.
That is correct. And that is what I want to see. And that is what, as a young person myself, I'm trying to bring a difference and show a different type of politics. And show the young ones that, you know, even at this state in the economy, that we can make a difference if we work together as well. And if we all come out to help each other, we can in fact make a difference and get involved in some of the positive activities. Take, for example, this cricket, for instance. I've brought out persons who would have never visited my office. I may not have even seen them during the campaign because they may not have been home.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, you're doing a hell of a job in an area of Trinidad and Tobago that was neglected. More neglected than any place else. Tamana is more neglected. Tamana is a producing community. Cocoa, coffee, and cocoa and coffee coming back.
And let me know actually what we're doing in cocoa right now today. Matter of fact, all now we are running a cocoa course in the Mondo Nuevo Community Center. We have about 45 cocoa farmers who are very interested. We have started it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we will be completing in the next 2 weeks. That these cocoa farmers will now go out and produce, and for the not just producing to make chocolate and make a living for themselves. But my main concern is that they will be able to employ other persons. So we create no avenues for employment in that area, because my constituency, you'll appreciate, is a predominantly farming community as well.
Yes.
From Wallerfield to Brazil to Talparo, all those areas are farmers. And what I've been doing as well is trying to fix as much as the agriculture access roads as possible. Come up and have Ministry of Agriculture, MBD, come in there and put in some of the infrastructure. Now, we'll appreciate we can't do all one time, but I was able to do about 10 this year. Next year, I understand we'll be doing about another 10 or so. So within the next 2 or 3 years, we'll have the majority of these roads repaired so that the farmers can, in fact, go in and start farming the community.
I want to thank you for coming in, and this is an open invitation.
Yes, you can come back anytime you have any...